What's up, guys? It's the Neon Phoenix here, and today we're going to be reacting to 6 short horror stories that I have looked and picked out. But this time, we're going to be doing it in the dark. We're going to be watching in the dark in my new studio. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Get some snacks, popcorn, drinks, and enjoy us watching scary stories. Abduction horror story.
My name is Josh Roberts, and it's been a year since I was abducted. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was walking home from school. It was about 6 p.m. and there was a full moon and a chill in the air. I stepped off the bus, and for the first time, someone else got off with me. I'd never seen this new kid at school before. I could hear footsteps behind me. I took a quick glance and saw the kid walking at a brisk pace. I thought he was following me.
Well, you best pull out the pepper spray.
So I took a left, which wasn't my usual route. I looked around again and saw him take the same left. My heart started pumping and my legs started shaking at the sound of the footsteps as they got louder and faster. I then panicked and started running. I remembered a shortcut in a nearby forest to my neighborhood, so I ran as fast as my legs could carry me.
Hey kid, wait up!
Said a heavy voice from behind me. I tried my hardest not to stumble on the logs and boulders in my path. I could hear the sound of sticks and leaves being broken by some fast, heavy footsteps. My legs started throbbing as the adrenaline wore off, so I took a detour towards a playground. I stopped to catch my breath, looking around for somewhere to hide. Then it went silent. I was doubtful that I lost him. I took my phone out to call the police when I spotted a local news article. Caution. There is a suspicious man on the loose. He escaped the local prison and assaulted an officer. Beware, he may look like a teen, but he is in his 20s. If you see him, call 911 immediately and lock your door. My mind started rushing with thoughts, and I started to panic. All of a sudden, someone started choking me with their arm. I tried to fight back, but they were so strong, I didn't stand a chance. My feelings of hope began to diminish as I slowly blacked out.
You let him do that to you?
I awoke to find myself...
See, me? If that happened to me, if he has a strong grip, he's right behind you, right? You gotta kick your foot and backwards kick him in the balls. He'll be sure to let you go.
In a dark, damp room that looked like a basement. The floor was hard and cold. There were no windows, but there was a staircase and a bathroom. I tried to move, but I was tied up with a thick rope. Yeah, I got him. How much was the deal? 200?
You trying to sell this boy?
Listen, you gotta do a little better than that. Okay, fine. You'd better bring the right amount, or you'll be tied up like that kid. What? No. Are they selling me?
Human trafficking.
The guy sounded mad and anxious with whomever he was talking to. Right after he hung up, he opened the door and walked down the stairs with an evil smile.
Look at this emo motherfucker with the earrings and all this shit.
Let go of me!
One-eye motherfucker!
I exclaimed as he taunted me. My arms started to fall asleep due to the tightness of the rope. Damn. He came closer to me, and I spat in his face.
Oh, yeah!
He looked at me in sheer rage.
Oh, he has a... Oh, shit!
Then the doorbell rang, followed by pounding on the door. The guy grabbed some tape and shut me up before I could scream for help. He slowly backed off, signaling me to keep quiet, and ran towards the front door. I looked around, trying to see what I could use to untie these ropes.
No, what you gotta do is you gotta lick the tape until it comes off.
I spotted a rusty, sharp edge sticking out of the wall. This was my one hope.
Yeah, cut your hands.
I successfully got up and tried with all my might to reach it.
Yes, sir.
As I was trying to cut the rope from my hands, I could hear the commotion upstairs getting heated. I managed to free myself from the ropes when I heard the front door slam.
You gotta hide.
The silence was terrifying. I was frozen in fear.
Sneak over to the bathroom.
Footsteps started coming towards the door. I choked and shuffled back to my original position, arms behind my back, wrists tightly locked together. Now where were we? Said the man. He walked towards me, grabbed my ankles, and started dragging me when the phone rang. He dropped me instantly and charged upstairs. I wasn't going to lose this opportunity. I had tied my feet, grabbed the closest thing to me, and hid behind some boxes. Now where did you go? He said as he stampeded down the stairs. I heard him getting closer to where I was hiding. I bolted up from behind the boxes and saw him checking the bathroom. As he walked out, I struck him over the head with a pole.
Yes,
He
sir!
stumbled and fell to the floor.
Hit him again!
Crimson red pooled around his head. I ran upstairs and out the front door. I stumbled my way to the closest house, screaming. A woman thankfully opened the door. She was shocked and fearful when she saw me. The police were called and I was rushed into the hospital. They're
He's
still looking for that
alive!
man, even to this day.
Look at him. Wide-eyed motherfucker. Any end credits?
Around to the end of the video. If you would like to
Let's go to the next video.
We know you're hovering
Oh,
over
not
that
an
button,
ad.
but we need your help. We have a better button, we promise. Right on time.
No, thank you. Okay, next one. Trick or treat horror stories. It's not Halloween, but who cares?
It was Halloween night of 2007, freshman year in high school, and I was with my friends, Ivan, Ryan, and Jesse.
Okay.
We were all dressed as the Super Mario characters. I was Luigi since I was the second tallest. Ivan was Mario since he's short and buff. Not that Mario is buff. Jesse was Waluigi because he's freakishly
Waluigi,
tall
man.
and skinny, and Ryan was Wario because he's just really fat.
Wow.
So they were the perfect group costumes for us. We live in a very non-congested suburban neighborhood with a decent amount of space in between houses. On Halloween, that's the worst thing ever. Less bang for your buck. We were trick-or-treating for hours, way past dark, and eventually came the time when most trick-or-treaters were heading home.
Yeah.
My feet started to hurt, and I had to constantly switch arms for holding the now 10-pound pillow sack of candy.
You coulda
But
got
we
a
planned
wagon.
on going until our bags were completely full. A lot of the houses by now weren't answering anymore. It was probably past their cutoff time for giving candy to trick-or-treaters. Approaching our next house, we saw a purple bucket on the stoop, which was the best feeling ever.
Oh, you saw
I was
that
the
guy
one
in
to
the
get
window?
close enough to reel bucket on the stoop, which was the
Look at this
best
guy in the
feeling
window.
ever.
He waited.
I was the one to get
for
close
y'all.
enough to realize it was empty, which was the worst feeling ever.
It's a trap.
I turned around when I heard a knock at the window of the house.
No, it's a trap.
We all looked at the window. Couldn't see anyone, but heard someone call out, "Wait."
You got some candy? Nah, boy.
The door opened and an older man, late 40s,
Nah, I
already
don't trust
balding,
this.
stepped outside. He told us to come inside so he can get us some more candy.
Why? Why not just get the candy and give it to us?
I said we could just wait out here.
Yeah.
He responded saying something along the lines of, "Nonsense, come on in, we'll get you your candy."
What the fuck was that? What the hell is that?
Ivan stepped in and said, "It's alright. Come on, Dan, let's go."
No, it's alright. We're gonna go.
I told the guy to take care and apologized. He just stood there watching as we walked off,
He told
not
us
saying
to go
anything.
inside and get some candy.
I felt
Nah.
bad, but at the same time, that guy seemed like a creeper.
Right. Why would you feel bad? He's telling you to go inside and get some candy. No, you motherfucker, you bring the bowl out here and give it to me.
I figured I just dodged a bullet not going in there.
You did.
If the story ended there, it wouldn't be scary. So of course,
wouldn't.
it didn't end there. We skipped a few of the guy's neighboring houses just to get further away and continued on with our business. We were walking down close to the
What
nature
the hell is
preserve
that?
now, so there weren't many houses around us.
That's a human.
At this point, we were now walking back closer to Jesse's house. I noticed Ryan had stopped walking, and I turned around to see
That's
what's
not
up.
true. That's not really true.
He said
That's
he
fair.
heard someone moving from behind the trees in the preserve. Now, this was before everyone's phones had flashlights, so we couldn't just go searching in the woods for someone.
What year
Besides,
is it there?
we were just telling Ryan that it must have been a raccoon or something.
A raccoon?
You may
Nah,
think
that
this is a
wasn't
bit
no
of a
damn-
cliche. We were just
That
flash
is
looking.
not
Now walk
no
nature preserve
damn
now,
raccoon.
so there weren't many
That is
houses
not a
around.
raccoon.
I noticed everyone's phones had flashlights, telling Ryan that it must have been a raccoon or something. You may think this is a bit of a cliche, but when things like this happen in real life, you always assume the more logical possibility. It's just natural. Why would we
Sometimes
assume we were being followed?
After you just
I had to put my arm around Ryan's shoulder and nudge him forward. A little ways down the street, me and Ivan picked up on the sound as well. When we all stopped, the sounds of the footsteps from beyond the trees
No,
stopped
someone's
as well.
following you. There's an owl over there.
Ivan yelled at the obvious stalker to go away, or we would beat the shit out of them.
Oh yeah, I'll
I
join
knew
you
he was
too.
just bluffing
Throw
though.
some punches. Hey,
I could
mate.
hear the nervousness in his voice. The snap of a twig from beyond the trees triggered a fight or
No,
flight
Alexa,
response
get
in
the
all of us.
Fuck out of here.
Me, Jesse, and
Run.
Ryan all ran for it. Ivan
Right,
was at
let's
first
get the
charging
fuck
to
outta
attack,
here.
but he quickly followed after realizing we had all taken off.
Right, let's
We
go.
ran down the dark street, and we all noticed the sounds of at least 2 or 3 pairs of footsteps crushing the twigs and leaves in the woods. We banked it hard right down Jesse Street when it finally came up, and ran straight for his backyard, entering his house through the back door.
Okay, that's good.
The first thing we did was peek out through his living room window. We couldn't see anyone. We all had to gather our thoughts and discuss what the hell just went down in his living room, when all of a
This guy
sudden
was
we
ready
heard
to
Jesse's
fight.
backyard gate slam shut. Jesse dove to turn off
some
the
guns.
lights.
Get a gun.
There was a
knife,
click and a
anything.
bang from down in the den. It was more than likely Jesse's back door. We all agreed to go
Right,
down
get the
armed with
weapon.
knives and face them. Jesse turned on his back door light, but there was nobody out there. Just then the front door opened, and we all
better
screamed like
swing.
animals. Jesse's mom and sisters came rushing downstairs. They had just gotten home from their friend's little house party.
Wait. If you guys were upstairs, then who the hell opened the door?
We all rested assured knowing it was just them. Jesse explained what happened, but made it seem a lot less dramatic. Me and Ivan went home after that and called it a night.
No, I ain't going
At
out there. I'ma
12:30
sleep over.
a.m., I got a disturbing text message. It was from Jesse. It said, "It wasn't my mom." I
See, I
texted
knew
back
it.
saying, "What?" He responded back quickly, saying, "It wasn't my mom in the backyard."
That old man.
My fingers slammed the buttons on my phone, responding back, "What do you mean?" There was a long pause before he finally told me that his mom and sisters said they never went in the backyard. I told him to immediately check the backyard from his upper deck. He had already done just that. He also told his mom everything, and she had already called the police. They didn't find anyone back there, but Jesse did mention the guy who invited us in while trick-or-treating.
Good.
Nothing ever became of that, and nothing ever happened at Jesse's house
Are you
again
creepy
after that
pastas
one
now?
Halloween night.
Next story. My friend nearly got us killed.
Hi, my name is Adil, and this is a true story.
I'm calling bullshit on that one, buddy. What was your name?
Hi, my name is Adil,
A
and
deal?
this is a true story.
A deal? I call your story bullshit. If,
The police
if anyone says, "Oh, this is a true story," it ain't true.
Finished this case, and the man is in prison now.
Oh, is he?
I was 14 at the time this
Okay,
took
let's
place.
just pretend it's real.
I was in a school and sitting in a history lesson that was so boring.
Yeah, my boy looks.
My
bored as
friend
fuck.
Noel, who was sitting opposite me, said I could come over on Saturday, as his parents were not going to be there because they were going on a weekend away. That
Kinda
meant we
flag.
could stay up as long as we wanted.
Look at my boy's
This
face.
was not uncommon, as we both invited each other to stay at one another's house, and I thought we were going to have a great time. Saturday came, and I was so ready. I packed my essentials like my toothbrush, my new
Yeah.
game, and my pepper spray.
See?
My parents
Pepper
always
spray.
made me carry it, and I
Good.
didn't mind because it made me feel safe too. I went on my
Kinda
way, and
convenient,
30
but
minutes later,
okay.
after walking, arrived to Noel's house.
The happy
As he
music in
opened the
background,
door,
I
he
hope it's
looked a
not
little
copyrighted.
tense and shifty. I
Why you
walked in
tense,
and locked
boy?
the door after me, to which he became even more anxious.
What's
I
wrong
asked him
with
if
you?
everything was all right, and he said it was.
It ain't all right.
Not
He
trying
hiding
to put a
something.
down on the evening, I asked him if we could play the new game I bought. He wasn't really interested, but said yes anyway.
Then why the fuck you invite me over?
After 30 minutes of watching him not playing and just holding the controller in his hand, I switched off the TV and asked him what was going on.
Yeah, what's going
To
on?
which he replied, "I need your help."
With
I asked him what he needed my help for. He told me that this man who added him on Facebook was actually stalking him in real life, and as to how he wanted to meet Noel. He warned him that if he
Call the
told his
police.
parents, he would kill them. So Noel, being the stupid idiot, he
You
told him to come at 8
dumbass.
p.m., 5
Why? Just block him.
minutes from now.
He's a dumbass kid.
He was
What can I
scared,
say?
so he asked me to come to this meeting to get rid of him.
So you invited me to a sleepover to lure me into my doom?
And that if he had
My
told me at
demise?
school, I never would have agreed to
I
come.
can't think of any other words.
He was right. I felt betrayed that he brought me
Right.
here under false pretenses. I was also angry at his stupidity of him giving his address away as well.
Why would you? Just block the
However,
motherfucker.
I had no time to argue. I was just glad he told me about this guy.
You
I
guys are
grabbed
true
my pepper
homies.
spray and just sat there on the couch.
You
The
just
doorbell rang at 8 p.m. I just sat there hoping he would leave after a little bit.
waited. No, call the cops.
However, then I started to hear scratching and realized he was
breaking down the
breaking in
door?
with some sort of tool.
Bro, Daddy,
I quickly ran into the kitchen with Noel, and we heard the door lock get broken,
Oh shit, y'all screwed.
and someone kicked the door in. The lights were on,
Why
and we
you
were
crying?
hiding behind the large fridge. The man, in a deep voice, shouted, "Noel!" We didn't reply. And then he
Don't say
shouted,
shit.
"Noel, where the heck are you? I'm going to kill you."
Who says it like that?
I had a plan.
I'm gonna
At this point, I
ban you.
pushed Noel out from behind the
What
fridge.
the fuck? Why?
Noel started going back, and the
Why
man
the
was
hell would you
walking
do
forward,
that?
chuckling. As soon as he came near the distance of the fridge, I shot out and sprayed pepper spray in his eyes.
Let's go!
He screamed in pain and then started swinging the screwdriver in his hand.
Well, you better dodge
I
that
grabbed
shit.
the screwdriver and picked up a pan laying there and
Fuck
hit him
with
on the
that,
head.
boy. Yes,
He
sir.
blacked out. He was dressed in a smart
What the
suit
fuck?
and was clean shaven. We called the police and later
You
found
told me
out
to
that he
kill
was a
somebody in the
man
suit.
who was being monitored because there were several complaints of stalking and threatening behavior. They also found many tools in a bag he left near the
torture?
door that would
Nah, torture's
dismember a
nice.
body.
What do you have all that
Thankfully,
stuff
this
there?
sicko didn't kill anyone. However, I'm now happy that Noel called me because I dread to think what would have happened if I wasn't there.
Dude, we got slaughtered like a pizza pie.
Amazon is overcharging,
Not another
but I can
ad.
show you how to avoid it.
No,
Don't
thank
spend
you,
another
sir.
dime on Amazon.
Fuck you, insane neighbor.
A few
guys wanna
years
see more
back,
stories
I
like
rented
this,
an
like
apartment
subscribe.
from a friend of mine. He had recently bought it and had it completely renovated. He put it
Why
up
is
for
the voice so
sale
weird?
but couldn't find a buyer, so I offered to rent it in the meantime. After moving in, I realized there was something wrong with the lady next door.
What? She snores?
She was about 45, but looked much older. She would sit up all night listening to Christian radio shows
Man, she
and
looks
talking
spaced as
loudly
fuck.
to
She's spaced
someone.
out.
It got to the point where I couldn't sleep, so I went over to her place and asked her to keep it down. She opened her door and I got a quick peek. Her walks all had crosses
What the
painted
fuck?
on them in different colors, and words like Jesus and angels scribbled everywhere.
You're one of those
The
rich
windows were painted black, letting in no light at all. It was damp, yellow-stained 50-year-old carpets, dog shit and cockroaches everywhere.
Nah.
No dog though.
What the fuck happened to
I
you?
asked her to please keep it down. She just looked at me and shut the door. Then she turned up the radio even louder.
What a bitch!
The next day, I had my girlfriend staying over. I wake up in the middle of the night and see a
What the
shadow of a
fuck?
person next to the bed looking at us sleeping. I think
Oh,
I'm
no.
hallucinating, as I usually do in the dark when I'm sleepy. But then the shadow starts talking. It's my neighbor,
How the
and
fuck
she's
you
holding
get it?
something
shit.
in her hand.
She had a screwdriver, not a screwdriver.
She broke in during the night, and who knows how long she stood there.
Call the cops.
You should lock your door at night.
She
Bitch, you
says
blocked
and
my-
walks
you
out.
unlocked my door. You broke down my door. Get the fuck out. Call the cops.
The next morning, I hear someone making strange noises below my bedroom window. It's my neighbor, talking to herself in tongue. She has a plastic bag in her hand,
Oh shit.
with
that's
her
a dog.
rotting, dead dog inside. It's hot as hell outside, and I can smell death from the bag. At this point,
I don't smell
I'm
nothing.
scared shitless.
I will be
She's
too.
obviously very insane.
Call the cops.
I go upstairs and knock on another person's door and ask what the hell is going on. The guy is as scared as me.
What happened to
Apparently,
you?
she broke into his apartment one evening as well, while he was
dude?
watching TV with his kids.
Oh,
He got
nah,
up
I
from the
would've hit
couch
him.
to get a snack, only to find her behind the couch staring
What
at
the
him,
fuck?
holding a power drill.
Boy, you better kick her in the face.
At this stage, I'm basically shitting myself. I call the cops, and they
Good.
know all about her.
You should have called the cops before that.
Apparently, she's a violent schizophrenic,
That
and she
explains
hasn't
it.
taken her meds. But they can't force her or enter her apartment without permission because she owns it. The only thing they can do is get her when she goes outside.
Set up a trap.
I sit up for the next 2 days, waiting for her to run out of cigarettes. When I hear her leave at 2 a.m. to go across the road to the 7-Eleven, I call the cops.
Yes,
They
sir.
have 3 cars and a special van over in less than 2 minutes. They restrain her and throw her in the van and drive off to some institution. And in less than a minute, it's like she was never there. I never see her again, but I still have nightmares about her looking at me in my sleep.
What the fuck? See, me at my patchy place, I would have punched her face. I think the last one, I don't think it's the last one. My neighbor was
When I
a
was
serious
7 or
stalker.
8 years old, a man moved to my neighborhood. He was around his 60s and introduced himself to me. His name
I
was
don't trust
Tom.
him. Tom.
He was the only one who spoke English fluently in our neighborhood, but he always tried to speak our native language. He seemed really nice at first.
He seemed.
One day after school, my friends and I saw a new cafe in our neighborhood. We were curious and wanted to know how many desserts they had, so we stopped by and looked inside. Then we heard someone say, "Hello, kids." He then said,
Nah, he looked like he banned from playgrounds and school zones.
"Come on in. You can have all the desserts you want for free." Without thinking, we went inside and stayed there for 2 hours.
2
After
hours?
that, we soon stayed there almost every day after school. Everyone started to like Tom.
Nah, that's
One
how he gets
day-
ya. When he first moved in, he's trying to get everyone to like him, and then when no one suspects it, bam, he gets a kid.
We went to his cafe like we usually did, but for some reason, I felt kind of uncomfortable. Because at some point, I noticed that there were only kids inside his shop.
What'd I tell you? He a pedo. That's what he
Tom
lures the
came
kids
to
in.
me and said, "Hey, I saw you yesterday with a cat. Do you like cats?" I said yes, and he proceeded to talk to me more. He told me that he has 8 cats in his house and showed me pictures of his cats.
Wow.
All of a
I don't give
sudden,
fuck.
one of his pictures from inside his
Nah.
wallet fell to the floor. I picked it up and I could see a girl's face with blonde curly hair and green eyes.
Isn't that your friend?
I thought that she was his granddaughter, but what he told me next
That's not
was a
your friend.
huge shock. He said, "Oh, this is my wife. She lives in London right now."
That's your wife?
I was confused because the girl in the picture was just a kid, maybe 14 or 15 years old.
Lock this man
I
up.
thought that he was lying or something. Then I got up. "Oh, I forgot. My mom is waiting for me."
Yeah.
So I quickly left the shop
And call
and
the
went back
cops.
home.
No, he's
Then
gonna
I
follow you.
just hugged my mom. The next day when I got to school, there were policemen everywhere.
Yes, sir.
I didn't understand what was going on. Then one police officer walked over to me and he said, "Kid, you have to come with us." They also called my parents, so we went to the police station together. It turned out that Tom's warrant was served. They found lots of data on his computer about the young girls who were raped by him.
Oh,
He
fuck, I
even
knew it.
lied about his name. His real
Hardin?
name was Hardin. The worst and most horrible thing was when they entered his room. The entire wall was covered with my
Oh, he obsessed
pictures.
with you.
When they said this to my parents, I was terrified, so I fainted. The police arrested him, and he was put in jail for several years. Now
life.
I'm 18 years old, put in jail for several years.
Y'all saw that shit?
Now I'm
Someone crawled in your window.
18 years old, but I am still afraid. According to my neighbors, he's returning to our neighborhood. I don't want to go out.
I just
and
saw him
I
crawl in
don't
your
even
bed.
know
He's
what to
under your
do.
bed right now.
If anyone has any
shit.
advice, please help me and let me know what I should do.
She a goner. She's a goner.
Are you a
Not
Roblox
another
fanatic?
ad.
Microsoft Rewards has a brand new way for you to earn digital.
Nah. The last one, guys, is the man in my brother's closet.
This happened 2 months ago in January of 2019. My parents went out to a party. They told me they wouldn't be back until at least 3 a.m. in the morning because the party was supposed to start at 8 p.m. and the party was going to be in New Jersey.
Want to hire a babysitter?
We live in Connecticut, so it takes a while to get there and back. They told me to watch my 10-year-old brother and expected me to be responsible because I'm 15 years old. When they left, we watched movies all night while eating a bunch of popcorn.
Okay, the usual
It was
stuff.
around 11:30, and we just finished watching Infinity War. I told my brother to brush his teeth and go to bed.
Good job.
I stayed up later than him to watch the movie Logan.
I got two brothers too.
The movie ended, and it was around 2 in the morning. I was getting ready for bed when my brother came down the stairs. I asked him what he was still doing up, and he said the boogeyman was in his closet and wanted to touch him.
The fuck? The boogeyman in your closet? You want to touch you, boy? You better go up there and go see the boogeyman.
I looked at him in confusion. My
Look at
brother
that.
isn't the type of kid to pull pranks or joke around.
See, everybody, if your child, brother, sister, anybody says, Mom, Dad, brother, or else anybody, the boogeyman's in my closet. He said he wants to touch me. Are you going to think he's joking, or are you going to go up there and check the closet? Nah. See, me, I would have checked the closet.
He wanted me to check it out.
Yeah, go check it out.
I said, fine, and started saying he probably just heard a house noise.
Nah. Children don't
He
lie
said
about
he
that
heard a
shit.
noise coming from his closet, and when he checked inside, the boogeyman was there
The boogeyman.
and said he wanted to touch him.
Said he wanted to touch him, but nah.
We went inside his room. I turned on the light and we went to the closet door.
He looked shook.
I opened it, and what I saw made me seriously angry.
What?
There was a tall,
What the
scruffy-looking man with long,
gonna beat
black,
his
greasy
ass?
hair. He looked as if he was in his mid-40s and was fairly built. I was pissed off when I saw this creep
I am
watching my
too.
10-year-old brother sleep, and I figured out what my brother meant when he said the boogeyman wanted to touch him.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I was so
Beat his
pissed
ass.
off. I punched
Yes,
his
sir.
throat.
Beat his
He
ass.
dropped to the floor gasping for air, but I stepped
No,
on
you
his
gotta get the
face as
steel
hard as I
toes and
could
stomp
at
on
least
his
6
face.
times. He was covered in blood and was
Damn,
having
you got
trouble breathing.
That's 2 extra points.
I grabbed my brother and ran into the bathroom, locking the door and calling the
This
cops.
child know what he doing.
Then I called my parents. My parents
I
freaked
imagine he woke
out.
up and it was all a dream.
In about 10 minutes, the cops showed up and searched the bedroom. He wasn't in there. They searched the house. He wasn't anywhere to be found. I gave them a good description of his appearance, and an officer even stayed at our house until
That's
sunrise.
good. Little Billiam.
A week later, I was informed that the same guy was caught and arrested for raping an 11-year-old boy
Oh,
and murdering
no.
his parents. It turns out he had raped multiple children before and even murdered some of them and their parents. He was 47 years old and received a
47.
death sentence.
Yeah, that's right.
If
Don't
my
do me like
brother
that.
never came downstairs to tell me what happened, then I fear the worst could have happened to him.
He would have been a goner.
And I'm extremely thankful that
you
didn't
fought him.
happen.
Look at that bug in his mouth. Well, guys, that was me reacting to short horror stories. If you guys want to see more, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification button. And it's the Neon Phoenix signing out. I'll see you guys next time.